in the rotation because of the injury to Hisashi Iwakuma. The Mariners call on him tonight to get this series with the Angels and to get 500 in this road trip. So far, 2 starts. What do you think?
Well, I think he's pitched well. Again, the Mariners were looking for starters to get deeper in the games. He's been able to do that, 5 2/3, 6 innings. Only 6 hits in each one of his first 2 outings. But for Elias, the big key, I think, for him is fastball command. He's had a really good breaking ball so far. We know he'll change his arm angles, especially to the left-handers. But I like his fastball command. If he can get to where he's getting away from the walks, in both of his outings, 3 walks in each of his first 2 outings. With the Angels struggling right now, you'd like to see him more aggressive with him so that he can get to that great breaking ball. His curveball is one of the better ones you're going to see.
See if he can pound that zone with the fastball down low as opposed to being up. The Lexus pitching matchup brings us to C.J. Wilson. 16 career victories against the Mariners, including one back in the first series. He was dominant with a very good fastball.
Very good fastball, and he used it a lot. C.J., his tendency at times is he likes to pick on the corners, use his breaking ball, mix in his slider and his changeup. But against the Mariners at home, he went 8 innings, really pitched well, and it was because of his fastball. So I'd like to see the Mariners probably come out and try to take his fastball away from him early, make him change things up a little bit. But if he has his command on both sides of the plate, you'll see him will start to bounce his breaking ball up there. This is a quality pitcher. So far in all the starts, just one rough outing. The rest of them have really been good.
He's been outstanding. And you talk about the Mariners, we always talk about Nelson Cruz, but one guy who's, it's almost like a horse race, coming up hard on the outside is Logan Morrison. He's taking his batting average and his slugging percentage to new heights with this run that he's on right now.
Well, you're right. In his last 7 games, he's hitting 500 and 500 with damage, and that's the thing that you want to see. I know Lloyd wants to see that from him. So Logan is really on a nice run right now. Really helps the second half of the lineup for the Mariners, a guy that can produce some runs, and we've seen that on this road trip.
See if the Mariners can put all pieces of the game here together this evening. Last night, they were in good shape going into the 8th inning and wound up couldn't hold a 4-2 lead. And then they lose it right here. Carlos Perez in his first major league game wins it in the 9th. So the Mariners now try to get this rubber match this evening against the Angels. Glad you're with us here on Root Sports. It's the Angels and Mariners. First pitch is straight ahead. Welcome to Angel Stadium here in Anaheim as the Mariners wrap up their road trip against the Angels. Good pitching matchup. Elias against C.J. Wilson as the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim take the field. And they take the field one game ahead of the Mariners in the American League West. Last night's hero, this man right here, Carlos Perez, a rookie, highly regarded, called up from Salt Lake City 2 days ago, got the start last night and won the game in the ninth inning. Here's a look at the Mariners batting order that will face C.J. Wilson.
Lineups are brought to you by Chevron. Leading off, it will be Ricky Weeks, and this is what he's done on this current road trip. 308 average with a home run, 5 walks for Ricky, so he'll be the leadoff hitter. Willie Bloomquist getting a start in left field. He will hit second, then it's Cano, Cruz, and Seager in the middle of the lineup. Zanino with a couple of hits last night. He will hit sixth. Logan Morrison has been red hot for the Mariners. 500 over his last 7 games, hitting seventh. Ruggiano and Taylor rounding out the 9 for the Mariners. Take a look at Ricky Weeks, a leadoff hitter for most of his career, so this is nothing new for him. Getting the opportunity to DH and lead off tonight against the left-hander Wilson. We'll take a look at C.J. Wilson, off to a pretty good start overall. You can see 5 starts on the season, just 1 win for him, but a 2.73 ERA in 33 innings, 23 strikeouts, 10 walks. That's somewhere the Mariners may be able to get to him. He can get wild at times. Opponents hitting just 205 against Wilson. Take a look at the defense for the Angels. Trout out in center field. He can go get it with the best of them. On the infield, Freeze at third, Ibar and Giovatello up the middle, Crone the first baseman. And last night's hero, Carlos Perez, will do the catching.
So for the 5th time this season, Ricky Weeks leads off a ball game, and he looks at strike 1.
C.J. Wilson has all the pitches, a good fastball. He'll be in the low 90s with his fastball. He'll also cut it, mix in a slider, curve, and changeup.
CJ's win this year was an outstanding performance on the 7th of April at Seattle. 2-0. He went 8 innings. Right field. Cole Calhoun, 1 away. Willie Bloomquist getting a start tonight. He's in left field. He was taking some fly balls out in left field 2 days ago. First time he's batting in the 2-hole. His 6th start of the season. It's his first game in the outfield. He's played 2 games at first, 2 games at short starts, and 1 game at third. Talking to Mike Butcher and other folks connected with the Angels ball club, they said C.J. Wilson's not doing that whole walk-around thing anymore. He's very decisive, keeps a pretty good tempo as opposed to what we had seen a few years ago.
No, you're right, and we saw that in his first outing at Safeco Field against the Mariners. We were really surprised by it. I'm sure the Mariners were too. The other thing that he did was he was able to use his fastball on both sides of the plate, but definitely working faster. He has a good fastball. Again, his fastball will be in the low 90s, and he will cut it at times. He can sink it off the outside corner. But in the past, CJ, he typically has tried to go to his breaking ball and use his changeup more, and a lot of full counts, longer games with him. But it looks as if he's decided he's going to change that.
Swing and a miss. Willie's gone. Tag applied by Perez, 2 down.
Well, after a couple of fastballs, he comes back. This looks like the slider. Ends up throwing it in the dirt, really swinging over the top of it after a couple of fastballs. I'll bring up Robinson Cano on the climb again with his batting average. Really been swinging the bat better over the last 2 or 3 games. Cano with 3 hits last night, including a double and a run scored.
11 for 41 against C.J. Wilson. Did not go as they checked with Greg Gibson down at third. Marvin Hudson has home plate tonight. Chad Fairchild at first, Jim Joyce at second, and Greg's at third. The Mariners lose last night 5-4 after winning 3-2 behind Felix on Monday night. If they win tonight, road trip will be a 5-5. There's a base hit up the middle by Cano on a 2-0 pitch.
Right fielder, number 23, Nelson Cruz.
Brings up Nelson Cruz as Cano. Nice stroke.
It's one of the advantages of getting ahead in the count. He ended up getting a fastball that was in the middle of the plate. It was down, but middle of the plate, he's able to handle it. How about Nelson Cruz against left-handed pitching this season? He's only hitting .556 against lefties with 5 home runs.
Wow. First pitch from Wilson. On the corner for a strike. Well, he's had a great road trip. 13 for 36, 7 runs, a double, a triple, 5 home runs, 6 RBIs, a walk, and he has struck out 9 times.
Good look at his splits right there.
Look at that. Normally you'd be going, wow, on the 281. That's pretty handsome right there, but 5 and change?
Yeah, 281 with 9 home runs and 19 RBIs here in the first week of May. That's good enough, but then you have to add what he's done against left-handers.
Man, this is impressive. Broken bat. Strike 2, 1 and 2.
I think at this point, it'd really be hard-pressed to pick apart any part of his game right now. Everybody talks about the home runs and the RBIs, but he's hit for a good average. He's hit when they've needed to him in the clutch, and the job he's done in right field, I think, has been really good. So just across the board for Nelson Cruz, he's really played well here his first month with the Mariners.
What we've been talking about for years, a difference maker. Check down to Chad Fairchild. All 2. Mike Scioscia, the dean of managers, longest tenured manager in the bigs. '02 world champions. 2-2. Hit it hard. The freeze. It goes short way to Giovatello. That'll do it for the Mariners. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. Roenis Elias about to take on the Angels. Well, the Mariners have held defending American League MVP Mike Trout in check. 1 for 8 the first 2 games. Let's see how Roenis Elias does against Trout and the rest of the batting order. Mike Scioscia's Angels.
Leading things off, it will be Cole Calhoun. Then it is Mike Trout. Albert Pujols, the DH tonight with a 2-run homer in yesterday's ballgame, his 5th on the year. Then it's Freese, Ibar, Giovatello, Cron. Carlos Perez making his major league debut yesterday, had a couple of hits, including a game-winning home run in the bottom of the 9th inning. He will bat 8th. Cowgill rounding out the 9 for the Angels. For Elias on the year, his 3rd start, a 3.86 ERA, 14 strikeouts over 11 2/3. You like that? Walks 6. Like to back off on the walks a little bit. Opponents hitting .279 against Elias.
First pitch to Cole Calhoun. Fouled off.
For Elias, his fastball will be in the low 90s. One of the better curveballs you're going to see, and he likes it. He can throw it for strikes or bounce it if he wants to, and he will change his arm angles on the left-handed hitters. Home plate umpire Marvin Hudson looks like he ends up getting a little bit of dirt in his eyes on that foul ball. He'll shake it off.
Fourth start for Elias against the Angels, first this season. Record of 0-2 in 3 previous starts, a 5.65 ERA. Got a no decision here in this ballpark. Had to leave after elbow tightness. First start last season. Calhoun, second night in the leadoff spot. He was in the 4-hole in game 1.
And right away to Calhoun, a couple of curveballs. Calhoun looks like maybe he hurt himself. Maybe he ended up getting some mud in the eyes as well. Take a look at the swing. Elias drops down, throws him a slow breaking ball at 77 miles an hour. Oh, the baseball came up and ended up getting a piece of him.
Not figuring on that when you take that big swing. Pretty jarring, isn't it?
Yes, I think he's a tough kid. He'll stay in there. Just trying to shake it off a little bit. It's more surprising than anything when it happens to you. You're not expecting that. Yeah. They beat it off your legs. We see that every day, but to have one come up and hit you in the face, it happens, but it's rare. Good luck from our Alaska Supermo, and it will come up and hit him in the eye, I believe. Maybe on the bridge of his nose.
You're right. Surprise is probably the biggest thing. Ball and 2 strikes. But he's developed into a nice player. When we saw Calhoun a couple 3 years ago, you could see him on the coming.
Well, you can see right away he can do a lot of things, Dave. He can run, has a really good throwing arm, hits for average, uses the entire field, and he has some pop.
Seager's there, 1 away.
Really good fastball in on his hands. One of the better fastballs you will see from Elias tonight. That one at 93 miles an hour.
And it brings up Mike Trout. Huge favorite here, as you would expect here in Anaheim. Off to a good start. Strike 1. Trout tied for the league lead in runs scored with 22 with Toronto's Josh Donaldson. And Elias ahead quickly.
Saw this from Paxton last night. They were trying to pitch Trout inside, make him aware of it. Trout did not like that last call, and I think he had a reason to complain. I think it was in off the plate, but Elias quickly ahead 0-2. There's a look at it on our EQC tracer. Pitch off the plate inside.
First game here in Anaheim. Felix. Well, it was Felix. 7 innings of 6 hit, 1 run ball, 1 walk, 8 Ks. Home runs in that game by Cruz, Morrison, and Seth Smith, as Felix proved to be a stopper there up high. And then last night, James Paxton continued to be pointed in the right direction. 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 3 walks, and 4 Ks. And, you know, as Marv Albert would say, showing signs.
Well, I thought he had a good curveball last night, and his fastball was back. He topped out at 97 miles an hour.
High fly ball right field, backing up Cruz. And he makes the play 2 away.
Take a look at our American Family Insurance defense tonight. Willie getting the start out in left field. Ruggiano, the center fielder, Cruz in right. Seager at third. Taylor and Cano playing up the middle. Logan Morrison, really been a hot hitter, but he's also played a really good defensive first base for the Mariners. Mike Zunino will do the catching.
Tough loss last night. RBIs, 2 of them by Zunino, 1 by Ackley, and 1 by Seager in last night's loss. Here's Pujols. How Albert looks at strike one, DHing tonight.
Good changeup from Elias, so he's been able to mix in all of his pitches here in the first inning.
Albert with a first inning 2-run homer on a 3-0 pitch last evening. Home run number 525. Elias ready with the 0-2. Check out this foul ball here by Mr. Pujols. And yeah, he may get a little bill there, huh? Ball and 2 strikes. Cano playing right there, friendly one hop.
Terrible.
Rosie Matt and Elias off to a good start. 1-2-3 go the Angels in the first. Mariners trying to come home 5-5 and enjoy a day off, and then start with Oakland on Friday. Stores. By Alaska Airlines. Enjoy free entertainment on your personal device. Learn more at alaskaair.com. By the Emerald Queen Casino, presenting Gordon Lightfoot, June 26th. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. And by Safeco Insurance. Find a local agent at safeco.com. Do more. Good to have you with us here at the Big A. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, and the Root Sports crew. Kyle Seager to lead it off for the Mariners, followed by Mike Zunino and Logan Morrison. Well, everybody in Major League Baseball has a guy that they own, and then there's a guy that owns him. For Seager, he's 3 for 36 with 15 Ks against C.J. Wilson. Break out tonight. Start something good.
Isn't that amazing? As consistent as Kyle has been in his first 3 seasons, an All-Star last year, that there is a guy, though, that's had his number. Well, I think all that means is he's due. Get a couple hits tonight, maybe hit a home run.
Skied this one. Going back at shortstop Eric Ibar. 1 down. Look at this shot. I love that. We clearly haven't shown that to the Angel Ball Club this Saturday. It's your chance to let that arrow fly when the Mariners host the A's. It's Fernando Rodney Bobblehead Night presented by Root Sports for the first 20,000 fans. Sure to arrive early for Fernando Rodney Bobblehead Night. For tickets, visit Mariners.com. Pujols last year when Fernando had the premature celebration. And Albert shot one right back at him as the Angels came away with the victory. Mike Zunino, 4 for 13 with a homer against Wilson. 2 big runs batted in last night. Hot shot. Gobbled up by Freeze. 2 outs.
First baseman, number 20, Logan Morrison.
There's a smoking hot Logan Morrison. 7-game hit streak, 13 for his last 26. With the Nelson Cruz bat, he's taken batting average up almost 100 points. His slugging is spiked from 194 to 430.
Well, you can see over the streak 3 home runs. He's also had a number of doubles, a couple of them last night.
Late strike one. After that hard luck that he had, he deserves a hot streak like this when he was hitting balls right at people and it seemed like on every at bat.
One of the things that you hang on to sometimes, Dave, when things aren't going well, is keep telling yourself they're going to even out. And it's finally starting to happen for Logan.
He's in the 6th hole the last 2 nights, batting 7th this evening. Two and two. Marson with a comforting thought, knowing that, hey, big boy, this is your job at first base. He's going to be in there pretty much every day as he waves a pretty good pitch by C.J. Wilson. C.J. records his 2nd strikeout. Goes 1-2-3 in the 2nd. No score here in Anaheim. All right, Angie, thank you very much. Here's Rowan Elias pitching to David Freeze. Freeze, Ibar, and Giavotella here in the 2nd. First pitch strike to the Angels' 3rd baseman.
Be curious to see if he tries to crowd him with the fastball. Freeze has a lot of his power is out to right center. They tried to go inside right there, but he left it up and out over the plate. Zanino setting up underneath his hands. But from what we've seen of the power of Freeze, it's been to right center.
So he hit a home run on Monday's game, 9th inning against Fernando Rodney. The 0-2. So Elias taking the place of Iwakuma in the rotation. Iwakuma throwing from 75 feet recently and still going to be out about 3 to 4 weeks. Seager charges. Throws at the Angels first baseman, who scooped down the line, one away.
Take a look at the pitch selection for Elias this year. 46% fastballs, 35% curveballs. Starting to mix his changeup in a little bit more. We've already seen it a few times here in this game early on.
One away here in the second. The always pesky Eric Ibar, 1 for 4 in last night's game. Led off in Monday night's game and went 2 for 4. Back interesting talking to some Angels personnel who will remain nameless, but they're still chafed at the fact that Howie Kendricks and Dodger blew up the road, and you can understand why.
Of course. Howie, consistent player for him. Yeah, I can certainly understand that. He and Ibar, pretty good combination up the middle.
My goodness. Mike Socia in his 16th year. Zanino going out for a quick chat. Elias beaten out in spring training by Taijuan Walker. Went down to Tacoma. And then when Iwakuma got the it thing, if you will, the oblique problem. Taylor got his glove on it, knocked it down, kept it in the infield hit. First hit of the evening for the Angels. Good effort.
Well, he's showing some range to his left on that. When it was hit, we have a pretty good angle where we're sitting, David. It looked as if that was going to get up the middle. Playing the pull a little bit more. Ball hit sharply, and it goes right off the end of his glove.
Had a good run at it. There's Johnny Giavotella. He got one through the hole last night in the 8th inning. Push bunt. Lomo gets the lead runner. He's been consistent from day one as an outstanding fielder so far this season. Big out.
Well, the thing that he doesn't hesitate. We've seen him make plays. We saw him make one to third earlier on the road trip, or even right here. It's a firm bunt. And again, the play would have been close enough at second, where I think a lot of first basemen probably wouldn't have tried it. But Logan, one being left-handed and two having a strong throwing arm, fires a strike to Taylor. Cut down the lead runner. Good play by Morrison.
2 outs with C.J. Cron. 0 for 4 last night, and he was at the dish on Monday night when pinch runner Calgill tried to steal on the first pitch against Rodney with 2 outs and a 1-run game. Elias out of Guantanamo, Cuba. Able to defect, get to Mexico, eventually ended up in Texas, signed with the Mariners, and here he is. 10-game winner last season. Mariners trying to get all the components to click on the same day. Right? Last night the bullpen didn't have it. The hitting came up big late in the ball game.
No, I think that you're right, but if you think about it, some things are starting to move in the right direction. One, the starting pitching. It has been better over the last couple of weeks, which is good to see. Last night they were able to score some runs without the home run, which has been good to see. And parts of the bullpen that have been good, and the other parts are still trying to figure it out.
Runner was on the move. Cano make the easy catch. That'll do it. in the second inning. But all the components, see them come together and get the Mariners on a nice winning run here. Third inning coming up. Athletics coming to town on Friday. Want to see you at Safeco Field for this series, beginning of a 9-game homestand. Sonny Gray against Taijuan Walker, Jesse Hahn against Jay Happ, and Jesse Chavez against Felix Hernandez. That'll be on Sunday. Speaking of the A's right now, top of the 8th in Minnesota. The Twins lead them 10-0 as Justin Mugiano steps in. JR batting in the 8-hole tonight, followed by Chris Taylor and Ricky Weeks. It's sharply stopped by Freeze. He's got a good arm. Throws him out.
Can you remember last year with the Angels when they used to bring in a defensive player for Freeze? He's really, from what we've seen, the series in Seattle and now this series, has done a nice job over at third base.
Fine.
Giano hits this ball hard down the line, but Freeze able to backhand it and shows the strong arm. But Scioscia so far this year has not taken him out of the game.
He's looked good. Pitch ran for him late in yesterday's game in the 8th, but that's been it. Chris Taylor, the hitter, looks to strike. So you got Oakland getting blown out 10-0, top 8. Texas 11, Houston 1, bottom 9 in Houston. Astros starting today with a 6-game lead over the Angels, 6.5. A's at 7. The Mariners. Here's Taylor looking for his first hit of the season, 0 for 7 so far.
Yeah, you'd like to see him check in with a base hit. Get that off of his shoulders. 0 for 7, as you mentioned. Just his third game. He's really played well at shortstop, but offensively, he's played well in the minor leagues, and even last year when he was up, was able to hold his own at the plate, but he'd still like to get that first base hit out of the way and build off of that.
Long foul, 3-2. Mariners come in 12th in batting, 12th in runs, 10th in hits, 2nd in homers, last in on-base percentage, 8th in stolen bases, and 11th in ERA. 3-2. And there's his first knock of 15. 3-2 pitch. One out here in the 3rd. Good for Chris Taylor.
One of the things that we've seen from Chris is he will use the entire field. He gets a high fastball at 91 miles an hour right at the top of the strike zone. Solid line drive over Giovatella's head. Take a deep breath. That's out of the way.
How good does that feel?
That's great. Yeah, that's one of the, they just want to get that first hit out of the way, the first ground ball out of the way, and feel like you can take a deep breath and just start playing the game.
Second time through, here's Ricky Weeks. Flied out to right. Snap throw, Perez, back safely, Taylor. And that Astro blowout at the hands of Texas, George Springer placed on a 7-day concussion DL. It's not good news, a right fielder.
I saw that catch.
Head first into a wall.
He was a full sprint, as we have seen. He's a good-looking athlete. He can really run, and he was on a full sprint. And right when he caught the ball, head first into the wall. Held on to it, but it didn't look good. So hopefully he'll be okay and be able to get back. One of the bright stars in the game right now.
0-1 to Ricky Weeks. Perez keeps it in front of him.
Perez made his major league debut yesterday and was impressive at the plate. We're starting to find out a little bit more about him behind the dish. Good job blocking that ball.
He's down in Venezuela and hit .333 last winter. He'd come over from the Houston organization with Chris Iannetta struggling mightily there. Glad to have him here. Popped up and playable. Matella stayed with it. 2 outs here in the Mariners, third with a man aboard. First girls' night out event of the year. Set for Friday. Mariners take on the A's for just $35. You can get a viewer terrace club seat, great looking Mariners cap, and your first drink. Go to mariners.com/girls for tickets. How about this one, too? Did you see this? Twins right fielder Eddie Rosario homers on the first pitch of his first big league at bat.
That's a rare thing.
Let it fly, right? With Bloomquist fouling one back. 2 outs, a man on. Chris Taylor with the Mariners' second hit. First 2 innings, Elias has given up just an infield hit to Ibar.
I guess the downside to that, Dave, is where do you go from there? But now what?
You're on a short list, though. You're on a short list. First swing, first homer. Good jump by Taylor. Throw by Perez. He's in safely. Stolen base, Chris Taylor. So he can check that one off the list. Got his first bag.
I just like the fact that they go ahead and test Perez and see where he's at. He gets a great jump. He goes on the first move by Wilson, and Perez ends up bouncing the ball on the grass. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Mariners try it again in this game. You can see Taylor on that slide, though, slid past the bag. His foot came off the base.
Two-out RBI opportunity for Willie Bloomquist.
Take a look at the pitch selection for C.J. Wilson. And you can see his fastball percentage over 60%. But he likes his changeup. He'll mix that in about 16% of the time, and then the curveball, slider, and cutter. I have to believe that percentage probably up a little bit higher than that in his first outing against the Mariners at Safeco Field. He was throwing a lot of fastballs.
Bounces up there. Taylor will hold it second. Mariners will again see Mike Scioscia's ball club. Next time it'll be here, June 26, 27, 28. Their next trip to Seattle, July 9 through 12. Taylor at second. 2 outs here in the top of the third. Big gap at left center for Willie. Check his swing. He did, since Chad Fairchild. Count runs full.
Let's see what C.J. Wilson wants to do right here. You have Cano waiting on deck. He's starting to heat up again. A base hit his first time up. And more times than not, you would think that the pitcher would challenge the hitter in front of him with a good fastball. C.J.'s been around for a while, though. We'll see what he wants to do. He does have first base open. Angels defense playing straight up, except for Trout in center field. He's shading towards right center.
Wilson ready, 3-2 pitch. Up the middle. Here's Ibar scooting over. Throws out Willie. And that'll do it for the Mariners. They strand a runner in the third. When we come back, it'll be 8-9-1. Perez, Calgill, and Calhoun for the Angels. Is brought to you by the Rockwood Fired Kitchen. Pizza, burgers, and spirits. By Vern Funk. Bad luck can hit anyone. Insure with the 13th man. And by BNSF Railway, sponsor of the BNSF Blast. No score, bottom three here in Anaheim. Carlos Perez leads off. Two for four in his big league debut last night. First time up, 0-2 pitch. 2 outs in the second. He singled to center. Then on an 0-1 pitch, leading off the ninth, hit a game-winning homer. Two and one. Count evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes for Elias.
So far with Elias, he's had a good fastball and his command has been pretty good. I like his changeup, 30 pitches, 20 strikes. Back-to-back changeups here to Perez. That's his breaking ball.
Perez from Valencia, Venezuela, same place that produced Felix Hernandez. Here's Felix, 5-0 for the first time in his career. Pitch. No play for Morrison. So 3-2. Perez leading off. A home third here for the Angels. Give me your thoughts on the division to this point with Houston. We took a shellacking here tonight, but started the day with a 6-game lead.
Well, one of the things that we had talked about with Houston, they looked like world beaters when the Mariners were there, and they were on quite a run. They'd won 10 in a row. But, like I said, they're going to come back to the pack. They can't keep that up. And so they're going to come back. I think it's interesting to see the rest of the West that's bunched up.
Strike 3 call. Delayed there by Marvin Hudson, one away. And Delta Airlines keep climbing standings there.
It's a good fastball, 92 miles an hour. It's on the bottom of the strike zone, right on the outside corner. Zunino, so good, maybe stole a strike right there for Elias. Good job by Zunino.
First K tonight.
But I think it goes back to what Lloyd was talking about, 50 games. That's what he talks about. Last year he did at the beginning of the year, and this year the same thing. He needs 50 games to figure it out. I think there are a lot of clubs that are in the same boat right now.
Tonight, game 28 for both of these teams. Calgo licks at a strike. Center field, well tagged, going back. Ruggiano can't make the catch off his glove. Calgo can motor. He's at second, coming to third. He'll get the stop sign from Gary DiSarcina. A triple, his first of the season, his fourth extra base hit.
Probably would have been in our top three this year as far as catches made. Calgill hits this on the button. Not much air under this ball. Solid line drive, and Justin trying to get back. Able to get his glove to it. Right off the heel of his glove. Man, he hit the ground hard.
Sure did. Hit good hops. He was up in the air for a long time. Good recovery.
Great effort. That would have kept him in the highlight reels for quite a while if he would have been able to come down with that one. Mariners will bring their infield in, one out.
Slicing drive to the gap. And Calhoun, he too can run it. Scoring easily is Calgill. RBI double by Cole Calhoun, 1-0 Angels. His 15th RBI, got it done with his third double.
Talked about the Angels struggling offensively. Calhoun has not been one of them. As you mentioned, Dave, his 15th RBI came into the game hitting .303 with 3 home runs. In fact, the first game of the series, they had him hitting cleanup. And here's Ruggiano. Great look at our Alaska Supermo as he goes up. Hits right off the heel of his glove.
Ruggiano getting playing time because of Austin Jackson. Austin Jackson on the DL with an ankle sprain. Mike Trout 1-0. Mike flied out to right in his first at bat. Back up this way.
The location of that last fastball on our EQC tracer. It's inside, but it's elevated. Trout is a really good low ball hitter. In fact, he can go down below the strike zone and line the ball into the gaps.
1 out, a run in, and Cole Calhoun at second. Foul, 1-2. Let's see if Elias can limit the damage. He's got Trout and then Pujols to follow. Charged up deep center field, and good night. Wow. Home run Mike Trout, his 7th. RBI 16 and 17, and put some miles on the odometer on that blast.
Well, last year's MVP, he makes Elias pay for this fastball. You can see Zunino wanted that pitch up. It's more middle of the plate, middle.
Pujols looks at ball 1. That's a long way up. That's about a quarter of the way up on that hill. Albert fouls one off. Elias giving up his 3rd home run of the season.
Another look at the fastball.
Outside corner ball 2. Strike 2, beg your pardon.
Sorry, Dave. Mariners have the shift on with Pujols hitting. You can see Cano over on the left side of the infield. Pujols first at bat, he hit it right to Cano.
Another easy hop for Cano. Throws out Pujols, 2 down. Inning started with Perez getting called out on strikes, then a triple, an RBI double, and a 2-run homer. Single shy of the cycle here in the 3rd inning for the Angels. David Freese grounded out to Seager. Nothing 3rd inning lead for the Angels. 1-1. Freeze fouls that one off. 2 balls, 1 strike. Elias trying to put a stop to it right here. Freeze is 3 for 7 career against Elias. 2-2. Trout's got to still be buzzing after hitting that ball. Got to be, what, 430?
I would think so. I was watching him take batting practice today. He was hitting it out opposite field, well up into the stands. Next pitch will be 50 for Elias.
2-2. Chop. Down the line goes foul. Three consecutive hits here in the 3rd for the Angels. Count 2-2, 2 outs, nobody on here for David Freese. Full count. Eric Ibar's on deck. He's got an infield hit. It was the first of the evening for the Angels. Three and 2 here to Freeze. And he walked the first walk of the evening, and the inning continues with 2 outs and a man aboard. Hey kids, be part of the Cano Show this Sunday at Safeco Field. All kids receive a set of Robinson Cano wristbands courtesy of Aquafina. Join us for the Mariners A's game and get a great looking pair of Robbie Cano wristbands. The tickets go to mariners.com.
Rick Wake's pitching coach having a conversation with Elias. And more than anything, to give him a little bit of a break. He's had to work hard in this inning, throwing a lot of pitches. 52 pitches now for the game.
So Elias will try to focus on Eric Ibar here with 2 outs and a man at first. 3 runs in. RBI double by Calhoun, and Mike Trout with a 2-run homer. Strike 1. Ibar, the 7th man to the plate. There's the workload here.
28 pitches in the inning.
Long strike, 0-2. Elias get ended here with this at bat to Ibar. Oh, and 2. And throw over.
It's probably Elias's best move to first. For left-handers, he probably has an average move.
Oh, 2. Flicks it foul.
It's a good 0-2 pitch. Moved with his changeup, threw it off the plate away and down. Trying to get him to chase it, which he was able to do. There was nothing that Ibar could do with that pitch, so I tried to bounce a breaking ball, maybe a good fastball in off the plate.
He's ready. And the pitch. Cano will take it right to the bag. That'll do it. For the Angels, 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and they leave them in. A 3-0 lead as they get on the board first. That's a lot of days' work. Here's Cano. Looks at a strike. It'll be Ravi. Nelson Cruz and Kyle Seager, 3-4-5. Cano looks at the ball. Got a base hit to center on a 2-0 count. First time up. Little dribbler. Wilson holds on. Cano's out.
Take a look at it. Crone fields it fine. I'm not sure if he bobbled it when he tried it. Yeah, right off the end of his fingers. Good adjustment by Wilson to catch it and find the base. Crone almost dropping it after he was able to field the ground ball.
CJ, 34 years old, out of nearby Huntington Beach, California. Told his dad, Jeff, usually up on third base side, the mezzanine area, watching all home games in which he pitches. Strike one to Cruz. And low to Nelson, 1-1. Cruz 10th in batting starting tonight. Leader in home runs and RBIs in the league, as well as slugging, extra base hits. 4th in road batting average at 373. Here's the 1-2. Missed away. Up the middle, base hit. C.J. Wilson looked like he tried to do a kick save and missed. Base hit for Nelson Cruz. It's the third Mariner hit. Comes with one out here in the fourth.
Fastball in just off of the plate, jams him. There you can see C.J. with the kick save. Wasn't able to get to it. Take a look at C.J. Wilson and his changeup. You can see what he's done this year. He's throwing it quite a bit more. Also throwing it for more strikes. That's been an effective pitch for him.
1 out, 1 on for Kyle Seager, who's 0 for 1, a pop up to short.
There you go.
That is out of here. He blasts this baby a long way, and Kyle Seager finally has some success against C.J. Wilson. His first long ball against him, and the Mariners are right back in it at 3-2.
During Kyle's first at bat, Dave, you gave us the numbers he had against Wilson. They were not good, and I was saying it just means he's due. That's a way to break out of it. Long home run. For Kyle, his third home run on the year. RBI 14 and 15. He gets a fastball right on the inside corner. He gets the barrel to it.
And for the Mariners, that's their first non-solo home run since April 25th when Austin Jackson hit a 2-run shot. They'd hit 12 consecutive solo home runs. Mike Zunino grounded out to third. For Seager's third home run, RBIs 14 and 15. Snap of the fingers, it's a 1-run game.
Zunino hit the ball hard his first time up. It was right at the third baseman for a ground out.
It was 3-0 here. Saw Pujols go deep on a 3-0 count last night.
And Mike has swung the bat well over the last 3 or 4 games, so maybe Lloyd will give him a chance. 22 home runs last year. And he did.
Three balls, 1 strike. For Seager, that's his first home run on this road trip. 3-1 pitch. Takes for strike. Through the whole base hit, Mike Zunino on a 3-2 pitch. 3 consecutive hits for the Mariners here in the 4th inning.
Mike slowly coming out of it, but picks up a base hit right here. He had 2 hits last night. That was on the changeup, 83 miles an hour, and on a 3-2 count, be able to stay back long enough on the changeup. That's progress for Mike. You can see that pitch well down out of the strike zone, stayed with it, pick up that hit.
He's 3 for his last 5. Going back in the last night's game. A runner on, 2 runs in. Here's Logan Morrison. Struck out on a 2-2 pitch, looking to extend his hitting streak to 8 games. Strike one.
You can see Logan during the hitting streak, the 7-gamer, what he's been able to handle. Not missing many fastballs right now, and a lot of those pitches in the middle to middle away for Logan. So he's staying on the ball. A lot of good things for him in that area. Looking at that chart with Logan, something that you'll hear the guys talk about all the time, that a lot of at-bats, maybe you'll get one good pitch to hit, and what they mean by that is it may be a breaking ball changeup or hopefully the fastball, but typically it catches more of the plate, more of the middle of the plate. And they'll tell you just can't miss that one, because at this level the pitchers will start working off the edges of the plate and make your job really hard. And Logan, he's not missing many pitches in the middle of the plate.
Fouls off that offering, 1-2. Inning started with Cano grounding out the first. Then Cruz, a base hit up the middle on a 2-2 pitch. Seager, first pitch he saw, hit his third home run of the season, hit it into the lower right field stands. Base hit Zunino on a 3-2 pitch.
And so far this at bat is what I was talking about. He had a first pitch fastball in the middle of the plate, missed it. Now Wilson going onto the edge, is outer edge on him. Another breaking ball down and away.
2-2.
You can see on the tracer, EQC tracer, the location of the last 3 pitches compared to that first one that he missed. He's going to have to work hard in this at bat.
Marson using one of Nelson Cruz's boomsticks. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Out goes a 3-2. Chester Ruggiano on deck. Tying run at first base. The go-ahead run at the plate. Logan Morrison. 1 out. 3-2 pitch. Bouncing ball to Giavitella to Ibar. Over the cone, they turn to double play, and that'll do it. But a productive inning nonetheless for the Mariners. They get 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and nobody left. 1-run game now. Angels 3-2. It's the Angels by a run right now. Mike Trout hit a 2-run bomb. Look at that baby fly. Trout, his 7th home run, RBIs 16 and 17. Coming right after Cole Calhoun had delivered an RBI double. With the Angels up 3-0, but the Mariners come back in a 2-run homer by Kyle Seager to make it a 1-run ball game. So Elias will face Johnny Giavitella, CJ Cron, and Carlos Perez. He threw a lot of strikes the last inning. Could use something economical here in the 4th.
Well, you're right. He had to throw 30 pitches in the third inning.
A long way, but foul.
We're talking about momentum and sustaining things as far as the Mariners go. And Mike Zunino said the same thing. We take a step forward, then we end up taking a step back. They just can't get anything going consistently. And it's a situation in game that you would like to see. Elias gives it the 3 runs. His team comes right back, gives him 2. I'd like to see him have a quick inning and let the guys swing the bats again.
2-1. Gia Vitella starting the night, a .288 hitter. Two. The other games in the division final: Texas 11-3 over Houston, and Oakland loses at Minnesota 13-0. 2-2 pitch. Count runs full. On deck hitter C.J. Cron. He did go. This is Marvin Hudson. And strikeout victim number 2 for Elias. One down here in the 4th.
Off speed pitch down. Change up over the slider. You can see Zunino asking for help right away. Ends up getting the swing.
Crone popped up to Cano his first time. Down the line, foul ball, emphatic call by Greg Gibson. Long strike.
Third base coach Gary DiSarcina looking into the dugout. And I think he's telling him it is a good call. We'll take a look at it. And that is foul. Gary DiSarcina, good shortstop here for the Angels for a lot of years. Now the third base coach for Mike Scioscia. There's Gary.
Taking Cruz deep. Looking up. It's the fence.
Makes the catch.
Nice job by Nelson Cruz. 2 away.
We talked about it with him, Dave. He's a good athlete.
Big Fish Casino, big catch, and a good one it is. He's done it. Boy, he had that from as soon as it came off the bat. He had it tracked as Lloyd McClendon comes out. Good catch by Nelson Cruz. Thumbs up. Strikeout and a long fly out.
This is an interesting conversation. Most of the time we have a pretty good idea of why Lloyd's going out to the mound, but not right here. 2 quick outs for Elias. You have Perez, the number 8 hitter, due up. Elias was able to strike him out looking his first time up, but Lloyd had a message to deliver. He didn't seem too happy either.
Perez struck out looking on a 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball for strike 1. Good pitch.
Good changeup. Good run on the changeup right off the outside corner.
He's ahead 0-2. 3 breaking balls. Good stuff there to get the strikeout. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mariners down a run. They'll send a Brugiano, Taylor, and Weeks when we come back. long 10-game homestand, 10-day homestand. And part of that homestand is Mother's Day. Treat Mom to an afternoon at the ballpark as the Mariners host the A's. This Sunday, the first 10,000 moms, they're going to get a Mariners sun hat courtesy of EQC. For tickets to Mother's Day at Safeco Field, visit Mariners.com. Chester Ruggiano to lead it off against C.J. Wilson. And good number of Mariner fans here. Nice family there with their Mariner gear. Paul and Alicia. And the youngster, his name is Colby. Ruggiano getting substantial time now with Jackson on the DL. He's trying to break an 0 for 13. C.J. Wilson gave up a 2-run homer to Kyle Seager in the 4th. Got the Mariners on the board. Strike 3 called.
Oh, that's a tough pitch. EQC tracer, borderline in, borderline up. Wilson gets the call. Good fastball at 90 miles an hour.
Third strikeout for Wilson.
We have Chris Taylor. Chris with a base hit, his first hit.
Did a nice job working to count the 3 and 2, and then he later stole second base. Base hit to right. Up high. One pitch. He did go. This is Chad Fairchild. Ball and 2 strikes. Kind of fastball he showed back on April 7th in Seattle.
No, you're right. That's a pretty good pop on it. And I think he's making it look even better because of the amount of changeups that he's throwing.
Right to Crone. 2 outs. Don't forget to stick around after the game for Mariners postgame, presented by Delta Airlines. Ricky Weeks getting the start tonight as DH and the leadoff man. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Fly to right and pop to second. Seeing C.J. Wilson for the first time. Ball 1 to Ricky. Hit sharply and a nice play by Freese. Bobbles. And Ricky Weeks is safe. Good base hit.
Another good play by Freese at third as he dives to his left. Ball was hit hard by Ricky, and you can see him trying to get up quickly and drops it on the exchange.
Two out, runner on for Willie Bloomquist. 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Runner goes. Well, he swings and a bullet right at Freese. He knocked it down. Everybody's safe. E5.
That is a tough error right there. Willie hits this ball right on the button and basically handcuffs him down at third.
Official score tonight, Ed Munson.
Take a look at it. This ball is smashed down at third. He wasn't even sure which way to turn his glove.
Yeah.
There's the self-defense going on there. I think Willie should get a hit on that. That ball is blistered at him.
Could be a change of mind in the next few minutes. Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, coming out. Mariners building something. 2 outs in the 5th. Down a run. With Robinson Cano coming to the plate. Who's 1 for 2. Hudson going out to break it up. Chance to tie or get the lead here.
Well, Mariners have good speed on the bases with Weeks at second and Willie at first.
Cano hitting .310, runners in scoring position. Pulled on that pitch, strike 1. Grabbing now 12 out of 43 against C.J. Wilson. Use a base hit here. Just 1 home run on the season for Cano. That was at the Dodgers back on April 14th. Pulled him again, 0-2.
2 good sliders off the outside corner. Take a look at this breaking ball. 83 miles an hour. Robbie out in front of it.
0-2. Struck him out. 3 good pitches by C.J. Wilson. The Mariners are turned away. No runs, a hit, an error, and 2 men left. 3-2 Angels. Angie, thank you very much. Mariners threaten and don't score. Callan Calgill leads off. He tripled to center field his first time up and scored on the Calhoun double. Back into third. So Elias ahead 0-2. Lloyd came out to talk to him with 2 outs for the Perez at bat last inning, and Something like that might have lit a fuse here. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Good pitch. Got him on 3 pitches. Back-to-back Ks, and both of them on 3 pitches.
He's had a good changeup tonight. Pitch off the outside corner at 83 miles an hour. Gets Calgill to wave at it.
4th K for Elias. As we go back to the top of the order in Calhoun. Cole Calhoun. Here comes the 0-1. Dropped down on him. And he's ahead in the count 0-2.
Key to it, it's well located. The breaking ball off the outside corner.
Back to it, struck him out. 3 consecutive strikeouts. 4 of the last 5 have been K'd. They're 2 down here in the 5th. Take a look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA. Much deserved day off tomorrow. 3 games with the A's. Day off on Monday. Mariners Care Golf Tournament at Snoqualmie Ridge. That'll be fun. And then the Padres and the Red Sox come to town. Here's Trout.
First ball he's thrown this inning.
Three consecutive strikeouts, 9 pitches. That one goes foul. Getting Perez to end the 4th. Calgill and Calhoun here in the 5th.
76 pitches, 54 strikes.
One. Ground ball to Taylor. Goes over to get Trout. Jeff's got him. And Elias has retired the last 7 men that he's faced. Kyle Seager, first pitch that he sees with a man aboard in the 4th inning. Takes C.J. Wilson out of the yard. Kyle's 3rd home run of the season, his first home run against C.J., who's tormented him. Kyle started the night 3 for 36, 15 Ks against Wilson. Made this a 1-run ball game, and we're going to see Kyle, second man up here, as Nelson Cruz will lead things off for the Mariners.
Kyle Seager on deck. Hitting star for the Mariners tonight. 2-run homer for Kyle his last time up.
Strike 1, fouled into the glove of Perez by Nelson Cruz. 1 for 2. Scored ahead of Seager on the homer. Cruz, Seager, and Zunino here in the 6th. Mariners trying to come home 5-5 on this road trip. They're now 2-3 on the season against the Angels. 1-2. Angels got their 3 runs in the 3rd inning. RBI double by Calhoun, and then Trout followed with a mammoth 441-foot blast to center field. Ended up on over the hedges and onto the hill in straightaway center field. Cruz, right field, that'll get down as he continues to use the entire ballpark. Started the night number 10 hitter in the American League. 2 hits back-to-back plate appearances for Nelly.
And he likes this one. Off-speed pitch. Just kind of serve it out into right field. Not the big swing we normally see from Nelson. Able to pick up a base hit to start this inning off.
All right, what's going through the mind of Seager? What's going through the mind of C.J. Wilson after Kyle, as you look at that hit direction, what Nelly has done so far tonight?
As you mentioned, Dave, he's really spread the ball around. That's the reason why he's hitting for such a good average. His average now at 336. I think that's what Kyle was thinking. See if he can get another fastball he can handle. He missed it right at the top of the strike zone. It's interesting to note C.J. Wilson over the last 7 seasons given up 10 home runs to lefties, and that included the one that Kyle hit.
Slow roller, Crone gets one, gets back to the bag, the ball gets away. So Seager's safe.
3-6 fielder's choice. Ibar looks like he gets a good throw from Crone. Perfect throw. Then Crone, he gets a little tangled up around first base.
A lot of congestion. 1 out, 1 on. Mike Zunino.
Mike had a base hit his last time up. Hit the ball hard twice. This happens here in Anaheim. Beach ball on the field.
Oh, absolutely. Now it's an official game. We've had the obligatory beach ball delay.
Usually get what, 3 or 4 of them in the day games?
Without a doubt. We're here on a weekend next time. See the Angels. I think the over-under would be about 4. One for 2 night for Zunino. 3 for his last 5. Feeling pretty good at the plate. Wilson taking a lot of time. Here we go. Ball 1.
CJ doesn't appear to be throwing as many fastballs in this outing as he did at home. More changeups. I showed you the graphic earlier. That's basically what he's been doing this year.
Counted 1-0. There's a strike. C.J. Wilson, since becoming a starter in 2010, he's allowed 2nd most stolen bases among left-handed pitchers, behind Cole Hamels at 103 and C.J. at 98.
Chris Taylor already with a steal in this one. Kyle will pick his spots when he wants to run, and typically if he's going to run with the left-hander on the mound, he'll take off on the first move. He won't try to read him, just try to guess right.
Two and 1 count to Zunino. Mariners down a run, 3-2, top 6. Kyle runs, double clutch by Perez. Throw there. Plenty of time. Got him. Double clutch and still got it there.
Sorry, Dave. It almost looked like it was a delayed steal by Kyle. I don't think he took off right away. Take another look at it. See Kyle
Decent lead. He waits. No, he tried to read him, and then he almost changed his mind. It looked like he knew he didn't get a good jump.
So he's out 2-4 for out number 2. And it counts as Zunino 3-1. Try to play 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Logan Morrison waiting on deck. The last pitch to Mike. Looked like the cut fastball from CJ. Tried to get it in on his hands at 87 miles an hour. His 4-seam fastball will be 91, 92 in that range.
Plays Zunino straight away and deep. Here's a pitch. Bounce foul past Rich Donnelly, third base coach. Here we go, 3-2. Popped up. Ibar got a great jump, so did Giovantella. Trout comes in. Whoa! Lucky nobody got hurt on that one as Ibar comes up with it. That was a little scary. As Trout came barreling in at the last second, Ibar was under control and had it for the out. All right, Angie, thank you. Albert Pujols leads off 3-4-5 against Elias in this one-run game for the Angels. He dumps it in right center field. Ruggiano has to play it on a hop base hit for Albert. First hit for Pujols. He's 1 for 3. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Dave Sims, Mike Blowers, Root Sports crew on hand. Coming home to Seattle later on tonight. Day off tomorrow. A's in town over the weekend. David Freese fouls one off.
Good fastball from Elias in on his hands. We talked about Freese and his power out towards right center field. You have to crowd him. If you throw the breaking ball, the changeup, throw it in the dirt, see if you can get him to chase it.
Fouled off again. 0-2. Century Link, what's next? A's in town. Always tough. Sonny Gray, look at those numbers. 4-0 and a 1.67.
Off to a great start.
Yes, sir. Taiwan Walker looking to rebound. Jesse Hahn against Jay Happ, who's been very solid. And then Jesse Chavez draws the king. 5-0 with a 1.73. Look out.
Chavez was in the bullpen when we saw the A's
Right.
earlier this year, now in the rotation.
Ball and 2 strikes. Took a lot off it. Reeves fouls it away.
I like that pitch. Again, trying to crowd him with the fastball and then throw your off-speed pitches. He's had a good changeup today. That's a changeup just off the outside corner.
One-two pitch. There's double play opportunity. And they convert it. Two down. And that will bring up Eric Ibar. Both teams have now turned to double play. Ibar 1 for 2. Now 2 for 3.
Second baseman, number 12, Johnny Giovanella.
6 hits given up by Elias. Big inning for the Angels was the third. 1 out, he gave up 3 consecutive hits, a triple by Cal Gill, an RBI double to Calhoun, and a 2-run homer by Trout.
Really like to see Elias retire this batter. Only at 85 pitches. Going to not get another inning out of him.
Right at Ruggiero, and you're going to get your wish. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, a man left. We've played 6. Mariners trail 3-2. Brought to you by AM/PM. Too much good stuff. And by Honda. Get a dream deal on your favorite Honda now at your Honda dealer. Good to have you with us here in Southern California. First of our 3 trips here to play the Angels. You've already been down here once in April to play the Dodgers.
Hey,
Here's
all right.
little cutie. Line of Mariner colors. You're going to like that. She'll be thrilled to see Logan Morrison do some work here against C.J. Wilson. Check swing. Freeze charges. And throws him out. 1 away. Lomo 0 for 3.
Center fielder, number 12,
Justin Ruggiano will stand in now. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out. He got called out on strikes on a questionable strikeout call by Marvin Hudson, home plate umpire. We're talking about Seager being due, so is JR. For his last 14. Action in the Angels bullpen. Cesar Ramos heating up. Strike one.
And it looks like Fernando Salas, also the right-hander, getting loose. CJ now at 93 pitches.
Oh my goodness, great play, David Freese. Robs Ruggiano trying to break an 0 for 14. Smoked it. Nothing to show for it.
I think with all the changeups and the cutters, Freese has been getting a workout at third in a number of plays tonight.
So, break down at the hot corner. Nice play, Freese. 2 outs. And it brings up Chris Taylor. Got his first hit of the season. 1 out in the second. Make that 1 out in the third. Stole the base as well. Then grounded out the first. Pitch ball on the field. Ricky Weeks, the on-deck hitter. Looks at it. The ball boy comes from the Angels side to get it. Right field, long run for Trout. He's there, and he made the catch. Man, oh man, is he some kind of good. 2-run homer earlier, and then takes 8 extra bases away from Chris Taylor. What a play. 1, 2, 3 go the Mariners in the 7th. Great closing speed. Your mind as you consider how a Washington's lottery win would change your bucket list. Play today. Very comfortable night here in Anaheim, California. Glad to have you with us here on Root Sports. Mariner baseball, and yep, he is the man here in SoCal with the Angels. Mike Trout, what an outstanding play, going hard to right center field to catch that ball before it found some turf. That's a great catch. The other thing you got to love about this guy, not only is he talented, plays hard, but he plays with the joy of the game, man. It's great. A lot of fun to watch.
And he can do everything.
Crone hits a long foul ball.
Joe Beimel getting loose in the pen. 88 pitches now for Elias.
Good to have Joe back in the fold. He joins Mark Lowe, just called up from Tacoma. Elias. Cat-like quickness. Makes the play, and there's one down. Another one-run ball game here for the Mariners. They lost 5-4 last night, 3-2 victory with Felix on Monday. Carlos Perez, the catcher, struck out looking and swinging tonight. Strike one. Last time up, there were 2 outs, nobody on. Lloyd McClendon came bounding out of the dugout. Set his piece to Elias, was firm about it, and Perez was struck out on 3 pitches. Angels got their runs in the 3rd inning with 1 out. Calgill tripled to center. Calhoun followed with an RBI double to left center. And then Trout hit one up beyond the hedges, well beyond the center field fence, 441 feet away, a 2-run shot for 3 runs on the board. But the Mariners came right back in the top half of the 4th with 1 out. Nelson Cruz singled to center, and Kyle Seager in the first pitch hit a 2-run homer. 2-2. Up the middle, Cano properly placed and throws out Perez for out number 2. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years. You can watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and more. Get it every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions do apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. 2 outs, and here's Calgill, 1 for 2. Shows bunt. And it is ball 1. Tripled to center and struck out on 3 pitches in the 5th.
Lee still has a good fastball, 96 pitches, but that last fastball at 93 miles an hour, so it doesn't appear that he's lost anything yet.
Baltimore chop. Throw over. Got him. Nice play. All-star caliber play by Kyle Seager to get the speedy Colin Calgill as he calls off Elias. Elias got out of the way just in the nick of time. Angels are retired 1, 2, 3 in the 7th. Anaheim. And we send out our warmest happy birthday wishes to my favorite ball player, the greatest of all time for my money, Willie Howard Mays, 84 years young. This picture taken back in 09 was at AT&T Park when Tim Lincecum got his second Cy. And this is 1986, Coors Sports Night. We used to simulcast my talk show on WNBC Radio and MSG Network. And we had at the Madison Square Garden Hall of Fame Club about 200 people, and we had grown men crying at the mere sight of Willie Mays that night. It was amazing. Emotional, fun night. Willie telling all kinds of stories. We even had Leo DeRoche, bless his heart, was still alive at the time, and we had Leo call in and talk about Willie. And you should have, Willie looked like he was 21 years old again, talking to Mr. Leo. That was a lot of fun. And look at the old school microphone, huh? Brad Miller pinch hitting. Flies out to left. Pinch hits for Ricky Weeks. One away here in the 8th.
Now Seth Smith will pinch hit for Willie Bloomquist.
Batting for Willie Bloomquist, number 7, Seth Smith.
Getting the left-handers in there against righty reliever Joe Smith in his back-to-back appearances. Mariners got to him for 4 hits and 3 runs last night. Here's Seth. Smitty started last night's game as the DH in the leadoff spot, went 0 for 5. Led off in the first game and went 1 for 4. And he had a home run in the 8th inning.
And the Angels had the shift on with Seth hitting. Joe Beimel continues to work in the Mariner pen.
Ball for strike, 1 and 2. Mariners scored. They had 2 runs on the homer by Kyle Seager in the 4th inning. Fly ball left field, and running out of room is Calgill.
Well, the Mariners tonight, through these 8 innings, they've only been able to get their leadoff hitter on once. That was a leadoff base hit by Cruz. You take a look at C.J. Wilson, 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs they were earned, 2-run homer by Kyle Seager. He did not walk anybody, 4 strikeouts. He threw 96 pitches.
Joe Smith, back-to-back appearances here. Down low, he gave up 3 runs in the 8th. The Mariners went into the 8th down 2-1. And then got RBIs from Seager, Zunino, and Ackley to take a 4-2 lead that Danny Farquhar and Dominic Leone could not hold. The Angels come back to win 5-4. 2-2 pitch. Outside for ball 3. Robinson Cano, the on-deck hitter.
Robbie 1 for 3 tonight. Had a base hit up the middle.
Right, great call. 2 outs. Improve your on-bus percentage. Riding is easy. Just ask our writer's guide. Available at soundtransit.org. Here's Cano. Cano 2 for 6 against Joe Smith. Strike 1 to Robbie. Singled in the first inning. Grounded out the first and the 4th. Struck out on 3 pitches in the 5th.
Oh. Hit him with a breaking ball. Hit him with the slider.
So it puts a tying run aboard for Nelson Cruz.
Take a look at the slider by Smith. See where it hits Robbie. Oh, it hit him in the back leg, right on the calf.
First time he's been hit by a pitch this season. First batter hit by Joe Smith. Tying run at first, go ahead. Run in the person of Nelson Cruz at the dish. Hit it hard, but right to Ibar. Goes short way, and that'll do it for the Mariners. Bottom of the eighth coming up, and a 3-2 Angels lead. Scare for every Mariners win. Buy Jack in the Box. Jack's hottest sandwich is back. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. Buy CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And buy Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Beautiful night here in Southern California. Temperature in the low 60s. Mariners and another one-run tilt as we welcome Joe Beimel back to the fold, his season debut. Just recalled from Tacoma. He'd been signed minor league contract a few weeks ago. 38-year-old lefty. He's been with Lloyd McClendon going back to their days in Pittsburgh. Right to Cano. Calhoun. One pitch, one out. Next BECU Family Night, set for Tuesday, May 12th. Each member of the family can purchase select view level seats for one low price. The Mariners host the Padres at 7:10. To secure your savings, log on to Mariners.com and purchase your tickets today. A one-pitch outing for Joe Beimel. Here comes Lloyd McClendon. They're going to play mix and match. You got Trout, the right-hand hitter, coming up, and Mark Lowe will come get him. 8th here at Anaheim, and Roland Solis. He gave you 7 innings. That's what you're hoping for.
Another quality start for him. 6 hits, 3 runs. They were earned. When I heard him was a 2-run homer of Trout. Had 1 walk, 5 strikeouts for Elias. Threw 97 pitches. And I thought really pitched well in this one. Had 11 ground ball outs. 9-0-2 counts for him today. The Angels went 1 for 9 in those counts. An excellent changeup. Really mixed his changeup in. Some breaking balls to the left-handed hitters. But overall, I think you have to be happy with the young man's outing. Again, 7 innings, just 3 runs.
So these moves made on Monday, as Joe Beimel brought up from Tacoma this season with the Rainiers, 3 games, 5 strikeouts. Mark Lowe brought up as well. Mark Lowe pitching to Mike Trout.
And we had a chance to see Mark in spring training. Towards the end of camp, Mark was around 95, 96 with his fastball, so his fastball was back. He'll also mix in a slider.
Said he's bagged the changeup. 2-seam, 4-seam, and a slider. Luciano has plenty of time to get under this. 2 outs.
No surprise to see Beimel come in and get 1 hitter. He typically gets the tough lefty in the lineup out. That's the way Lloyd used him last year, and it was effective.
He was terrific, and a lot of guys, the younger guys, were bummed out when he didn't make the club, but when he didn't sign coming into camp. He was a big favorite as 38-year-old guys, the old head out there. All the guys love him. Great to have him back. Mark Lowe.
See what he did last year, 3.86 ERA. Just 7 innings for him, had 6 strikeouts.
Did that last year with Cleveland. He's with the Angels. Pitched in 11 games in 2013. With Texas in 10 and 11. Got some World Series action. And, of course, came up with the Mariners. He was with the Mariners from 06 through the 10 season. Partial through the 10 season before going to Texas. Pujols 1 for 2 against Mark. And Cano, 3rd time, he's going to throw out his good buddy Albert Pujols. Albert hit right into the shift. 1, 2, 3 go the Angels. Last ups for the Mariners. Houston Street, always a tough hombre on the Mariners. Will face Seager, Zunino, and Morrison. San Diego. We saw him in Colorado. Now here with the Angels. Not the most heralded closer, but very, very good.
No, he is, and the reason why is because he doesn't have the big fastball. You can see he has 9 saves, 9 for 9 in save opportunities, ERA 0.90. 11 strikeouts in the 10 innings that he has worked. Opponents hitting 143, has yet to give up a home run. He will work on the edges of the plate, mixing his changeup. You can see what he's done against the Mariners. ERA to 2.53, 23 saves in his career against the Mariners.
Some work to do. Here's Kyle Seager to lead things off.
Kyle has been the offense tonight. 2-run home run for Kyle back in the 4th inning. Angels have the shift on with Kyle hitting.
Ball 1 to Kyle Seager. 1 for 2. Kyle is against Houston Street, who's got great athletic pedigree. His daddy, James Street, the late James Street, led Texas national championship back in 1969.
Didn't have to be. Just looked like it was off the outside corner. It was the fastball from Houston at 88 miles an hour. You can see it on our EQC tracer. That is off the plate.
Slicing drive, left field. It's going to get down. Cowgill cuts it off. Seager going to go for 2. He is in there. Wow. Lead off double Kyle Seager.
Well, there's a couple of things that are great about this at bat. One, it's a fastball away from him. Kyle hits it that way. Doesn't try to do too much with it. Good play by Cowgill, the left fielder, to cut it off. He has a strong throwing arm. And then the last piece of this, Kyle being aggressive, the slide, the dive to the inside part of the bag so that Ibar has to come all the way back to try to make the tag. You see Kyle running hard right out of the gate. Never thought about slowing down, and then the dive back to the inside part of the base. Good play all the way around by Seager.
Mike Zunino with the chance to tie it.
Breeze, the third baseman, playing back. I don't expect him to bunt right here. Mike in his last few games has shown the ability to hit the ball the other way. In fact, he had a double down the right field line in yesterday's game, so we'll see how Lloyd wants to play it.
Speed pitch, swing and a miss. Here's the 0-1, and off to get Seager back. Zunino knocked in 2 runs last night. Single and a ground rule double. 2 for 3. 1 for 3 here this evening. That might drop. Trout's good, but he's not that good. Base hit. Runners at the corners. So the Mariners building something here in the top of the 9th. Parachuted one in there.
Yeah, pretty good pitch. This pitch is down and away. Gets it off the end of the bat. He'll take the base hit. Kyle had to wait. Couldn't take off right away. Make sure that it's not caught. But Mariners in good shape, first and third with nobody out. One of their hottest hitters stepping up, Logan Morrison.
Romo had a big moment here last year, last visit in. The monster late game home run. Morrison 0 for 1 against Houston Street.
Dustin Ackley has come out on deck.
Ball 1.
Dustin's going to hit for Ruggiano. Only one left on the bench for Lloyd is Jesus Sucre. backup catcher. Miller, Smith, and Ackley will all get into this one, even though they didn't start.
1-0 to Morrison. 2 on here. Runners at the corners. Mariners down a run. That will get out of play. Mike Scioscia sweating this one out. Mariners threatening here. Runners at the corners. Nobody out. Rodney and Carson Smith preparing. Houston Street ready. He's got a 1-1 pitch coming to Morrison. Takes it outside for ball 2.
Angel fans wanted it, but clearly off the plate away.
Good count for Lomo. Dustin Ackley's on deck. Two 1 pitch. Fouled off 2-2. Opportunity here for the Mariners. Love to get a lead here, turn it over to Rodney with a chance to go 5-5 in this road trip. Pitch from Street. Taken for ball 3.
Pretty good eye. That was a good pitch by Street. It looked like his changeup again. Just missing the outside corner and down.
So full count to Logan Morrison. Runners at the corners, nobody out. 1-run deficit for the Mariners. Logan looking to extend his hitting streak to 8 games. 3-2 pitch. Fly ball left field, not deep. Cowgill. It's a cutoff, man. There's one away. Mariners need Ackley to come up big.
Well, with nobody out, and this is not deep. Cowgill has a strong throwing arm. This throw will be a little bit offline. But again, with nobody out, you don't want to take the chance of getting thrown out at the plate. So Ackley will pinch hit for Ruggiano.
Ackley looking for his first hit with runners in scoring position this season. He's 0 for 15.
And you can see 1 for 5 with 2 strikeouts against Houston Street.
Ball 1. Great setup in this inning as Kyle Seager, a hustle double, a base hit by Zunino as he parachuted one in down in that triangle. Morrison flies out to left and brings up Ackley.
I think Street will probably try to pitch him away, see if he can get him to roll over on a pitch. He wants to get a ground ball if he can.
He takes ball 2.
And right now, Dustin's looking for something elevated in the strike zone, something that he can hit in the air. Give Seager a chance to score.
Came up big with a sacrifice fly in the 8th inning of last night's game after striking out with the bases loaded in the 6th. Two-0 pitch. Out back.
Stayed away from him. That pitch elevated about belt high.
What'd you say about Seager back in the 4th inning? He was due?
He was due. That's right. Chris Taylor waiting on deck.
2-1 pitch to Ackley. Fouls it off. 2-2.
Another fastball just off the outside corner.
What a big at bat here. Tying run just 90 feet away. 1 out, runners at the corners. Houston Street has been a Mariner tormentor with 23 career saves. 2-2 pitch to Ackley. That's deep enough. That'll get it done. Calgill makes the catch. Seager walks home. Tie ball game. Dustin Ackley gets the job done. He'll get a lot of attaboys and high fives. 3-3 ball game here in the 9th. The Ack attack with a good at bat. Picks up his 5th run batted in.
Well, he takes advantage of a pitch from Houston Street. Houston's trying to get this ball down and away. He elevates it above the belt. Dustin, for a left-handed hitter, a good high ball hitter, and he gives us a pretty good ride all the way out to the foul pole.
Job well done. Ball 1 to Chris Taylor. 3-3 game. One-0 pitch. Zunino kind of running threat. Carson Smith and Fernando Rodney getting ready.
The game stays tied. It'll be Carson Smith. Mariners take the lead. Rodney will be in the game.
Outfield deep, huge gap in left center. Sac fly for Ackley in consecutive nights. His first 2 non-home run RBIs of the season. Good count here for Chris Taylor. 3-0. Brad Miller's on deck. He came on as a pinch hitter for Ricky Weeks in the 8th.
He's in the DH spot. Taylor will take this pitch all the way.
And he walked him on 4 pitches. First and second. 2 outs for the Mariners. And Brad Miller is going to be the hitter.
Mariners tonight 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position. And Houston Street has thrown 20 pitches in the inning.
Miller 1 for 3 against Houston. Cesar Ramos getting ready in the Angels pen. Ed Miller, the utility guy for the Mariners. He can come up real big right here. The clutch base hit can put the Mariners in front. For the time being, Chris Taylor is going to be the everyday shortstop, although Brad will get some time there. Here's the 0-1. It's a pitch outside. Count at 1-1. Inning started with Seager doubling. Zunino added a single. Morrison flied out to left, not deep enough to score Seager. Ackley worked a 2-2 count. He did drive it deep down the left field line to get that run in to tie the score, and Taylor walked. One pitch. 1-2 to Brad. No Miller did not play in yesterday's game. His last appearance as a starter was Sunday in a 7-6 loss to Houston. He went 1 for 4 with an RBI triple. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Taken for ball 2.
See Street trying to work him away. The Mariners have already put his first blown save on the ledger. See if they can give him a loss.
Well, if he can gap one, there is plenty of room. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Weeks swing and a miss. He's gone, and we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. But the Mariners do tie the score and leave 2. It's a 3-3 ball game. Enjoy tomorrow off, and then the Oakland Athletics come in to begin a 9-game in 10 days homestand for the Mariners. Sonny Gray against Taijuan Walker, Jesse Hahn against Jay Happ, and Jesse Chavez against Felix Hernandez, our CenturyLink. What's next? Changes. Seth Smith had come in, taking over for Willie Bloomquist in the 8th, and now Ackley, a pinch hitter in the 9th. Ruggiano takes his spot in center field. Coming up for the Angels will be David Freese, Eric Ibar, and Johnny Giavotella against new pitcher for the Mariners, Carson Smith. He'll be the 4th pitcher this evening.
For Carson, good fastball in the mid-90s and a hard slider. This will be his 14th appearance on the year. So the Mariners, 28 games. Carson has been in 14 of them. No 73 ERA, 14 strikeouts, and 12 1/3. Opponents hitting 116 against Carson.
Here's David Freese. Lead things off. Kyle Seager guarding the line at 3rd, ball 1.
It was one of the reasons why we didn't see Carson in last night's ball game. Already 14 appearances for him. He has pitched a lot here early in the season.
(2-0). Freeze tonight is 0 for 2 with a walk. Way outside, ball 3, 3-0. On deck hitters, Eric Ibar. Taken all the way, 3-1. run at first.
That'll bring up Ibar. He can really handle the bat. Kyle Siegel will have to play in at third. Switch hitter will turn around, hit left-handed. Hitting right-handed, he was 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. It makes him so tough, as you can put on the sacrifice bunt, but if he feels Kyle moving in too early, he will pull the bunt back and hack away at it. You have to be careful with Ibar at the plate.
Got one sacrifice so far this season. Pinch runner, Taylor Featherston. We saw him, similar situation in last night's game, pinch running for Freeze in the 8th.
You also have to be aware of a hit and run because of the ability of Ibar to put the bat on the ball.
Seager in on the grass at third, shows bunt. Bunted it foul, strike one.
Looked to me as if he was trying to bunt that to Kyle. Kyle was right on top of him. He would have had a chance to get the lead runner. Typically with a runner on first in this situation, if you're going to bunt, you want to bunt it towards first base because the first baseman has to hold the runner on.
0-1 pitch. Did show bunt. Ibar's had 2 seasons with double-figure sacrifices, 12 in the year 2009, and in the year 2010 he had 11. Last year, just 3. Wants it to Kyle. Goes to second. Got him. Nice play. Mike Zunino calling it out for Seager. And Seager with a strong throw to get the lead runner, Featherston.
Surprised that Ibar would try to bunt this towards third. We were just talking about Kyle. He's able to crash early, and Ibar, the veteran, you would think he would know to bunt the ball to first, but that's a good break for the Mariners. And a strong throw by Kyle into second base. Chris Taylor, the shortstop, covering at second to get the lead runner. The break for the Mariners.
He will absolutely take it. Here's Giavotella. He hurt the Mariners with a seeing eye single left field last night and eluded the dives of Seager and Taylor in the 7th to knock in a run. It was in the 8th inning. Base hit to left. Outside from Smith. Ibar's not done a lot of running this year. He's 0 for 2 in base stealing. Charlie Furbush looks like he's ready. Outfield, straight away and deep. Ibar runs, base hit, right field. Cruz over to get it. Ibar is motoring, getting a wave on it, third, and there'll be no throw. Angels win it in the 9th. Another 1-run loss for the Mariners, and that's a heartbreaker. Part 2.
Well, these are getting tough. Too many of these early in the season for the Mariners. Carson Smith has been so good, not able to work his way out of this inning. Tough road trip for the Mariners.
Road trip finishes at 4-6. They're now 2-4 against the Angels. Hit and run, and back-to-back nights. Late in the game, Johnny Giavotella hurts the Mariners. This is a game-winning RBI here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
It's a hit and run. Giavotella been playing well for the Angels. Dave mentioned had the big hit in last night's game and comes back with another one. Cruz is able to get over there quickly. He was playing over in right center field. You can see how far down the line that ball is. I've already halfway to home. No chance to get him.
Johnny Giavotella, one of the 4 men trying to replace Howie Kendrick, and for 2 nights in a row, Johnny gets it done. against the Mariners. Mariners enjoy tomorrow off, and then we'll be back at you on Friday against the Oakland Athletics. Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines starts right now with Angie and Bill.